And so right now, we are being called to claim the sacredness of planet Earth, of the sky, of animals, and even each other. So I'm inviting you to get out of yourself. Go outside. Be in nature. Be in awe of what we reside on and partake in and get energy from and joy and bliss. Be a part of the rhythm of this beautiful planet. That was awesome. 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 By the way, Reggie was out sick this week for about, 3 days? 3 days. Jennifer was out sick this week, I think 2 days. So it's a little bug going around. But we love this place and we show up and he sounded freaking amazing. All right, so we're going to continue on this week with honoring Gaia, the wisdom of our ancestors, and really emphasizing that we're all interconnected. Now, the symbiosis between rock and water are an amazing balance that's been created by Mother Earth. And I've got that question up there that says, are you a rock or water? So for me, when I want to get away, when I want to feel spirit just present and full on, I'm by the water. It could be a lake, it could be the ocean, it could be the river. Anywhere it is, it's by the water. So how many of you would say you're water people? Ooh, okay, that's a good amount. And then I heard rumor that there are people that really find spirit and that connection when they're in the mountains or the forest or the desert. So I consider that a rock person. How many of you are rock people? Wow. Wow, cool. So is there one that's better than the other? You sure? You guys are so clever. You're right, there is no difference, right? We need both for wholeness, both for vitality, both for our well-being. And guess what? Us humans are really similar to Mother Earth because we have two aspects of us, don't we? We have the physical and we have the spiritual. Is one better than the other? No. I know sometimes we think spiritual is way better than the physical, but we need both. We need both for our own wholeness and well-being. And what we know is that if one of them gets a little out of balance, it really affects us in a big way. Now here in Unity, we know on a foundational level that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And before we arrive on planet Earth, we knew only oneness. We knew that we were all energy, and all of us together were vital for each other. We were necessary in that energetic field of oneness. And then we get here and incarnate on this planet. And once we get into these bodies, we tend to forget. We tend to forget those truths. And one of my passions is really about supporting humanity and remembering what we have always known, right? And so what I like to do is I like to bring in different spiritual modalities for us to explore, to find new ways to re-know ourselves as truth. And so we're going to be exploring the indigenous spirituality, indigenous wisdom as a community, and it's just giving us another way to expand our consciousness. So let's start at the beginning. Everything that we see, everything that we create, everything that we feel, everything that we do is energy. We embrace our humanity so much that we often forget this, that we are energetic beings. And so all energy is sacred. All energy is sacred. And it can be transmuted, it can be transformed. And I think this is why we hold the truth and the knowledge that transformation is possible for each of us. How do we know this? Well, we've got friends in high places that remind us of this truth. This is known as a dovetail caterpillar. I find caterpillars not very pretty. They're kind of weird in how they do, and they just munch, right? And every time a butterfly goes by, we are witnessing transformation. Every time a butterfly goes by, right? We are witnessing the transformation of the caterpillar into its highest self. The caterpillar, this dovetail caterpillar, understands that to be magnificent, it has to release everything it knows itself as. Everything it knows itself as, and have faith. Faith. Faith that as its entire body breaks down into nothingness, it surrenders to the infinite wisdom of the universe that says, you are so much more. Right? Thank you. That's why each of us are here at Unity Church of the Hills, to learn, to grow, to become our highest self. If we have faith, then we walk through the goo stages as we deconstruct our erroneous beliefs of all that we know, all that we've been programmed to be, while recognizing that this is necessary for our rebirth into magnificence. We humans have the capacity to really ascend in consciousness through the transformation of fear to love, from anger to collaboration. Now, we know this a little bit from quantum physics, but the author of this book, Think Indigenous, is Doug Goodfeather, and he says this: it's also said that energy acts as light until it's observed, and then it's experienced as matter, which is another way of saying that we can change the energetic signature of that which we observe by changing our intention. By changing our intention. What are we talking about here? We're talking about co-creation. We're talking about co-creation. Through our beliefs, which is another way of saying intentions, we bring things into manifestation. So if we intend a situation to be for us, guess what? It'll be for us. I want you to just think for a moment of any road, any street, any highway. Maybe it's a street or a road going through those mountains that are on the picture there. The streets are simply a thoroughfare that we can use to go places. But if we believe that road is the road to hell, it's going to be a very difficult journey for us. But if we believe that road is to heaven, now it's a delightful path that we're on. The street, the road, the highway hasn't changed in any way, but it's our belief about it that makes it either painful or joyful. How many of us have created angels and demons in our lives? Right? They're adorable. People are simply people. Sacred souls inhabiting the physical. Every one of us, sacred souls inhabiting the physical. But if we believe that people are on either end of the spectrum, then energetically they become that for us. Because the universe simply wants us to be happy. It wants to fulfill our desires. So if the universe hears you're holding this belief that you need an angel, then together you're going to co-create that angel in your life. Conversely, if you believe that you need a monster, that's what you've created, a monster. But the truth is that we are all energetically interconnected. In indigenous thinking, there's a sacred energetic loop that happens that's created whenever we go into relationship with one another, whenever we go into relationship with animals, whenever we go into relationship with nature. These sacred hoops keep forming. And the Lakota wisdom says that each of us consists of energy, and in the center of our being, the universal energy fields of east, south, west, north, above, below, and center all flows through us. And in the center of us, the center of all these energetic fields, the great Creator exists, expressing as us. That's a little similar to some things that we think about, isn't it? That we are God expressing. Goodfeather writes this: each of us is a sacred space through which every part of the universe flows to offer itself for reflection and to offer answers and perspective and meaning to our lives. What it's saying is that together we hold sacred harmony for the world. Not individually, not by myself, but together we hold sacred harmony of the world. And ours is really simply to allow ourselves to be in connection with everyone and everything. And there's no limit. It's not like we have energy that we can't create these sacred hoops. We don't run out of energy. And as our hoops join each other, in the center of all of this is God. Now the Lakota say, Mitakuye Oyasiin, which means there is connection between the hoops and spheres, that all beings and all things, both seen and unseen, are interconnected and intrinsically related. This means that we're all related. We're all interconnected. And it doesn't matter if it's a person, an element, an animal. It doesn't matter. A rock, water, we're all interconnected. We're all in this together. So we all share the same mother, Mother Earth. We have 7 billion brothers and sisters. 7 billion brothers and sisters. And 8.7 million species of animals, both land and on sea, that we share this planet with. That's a lot for Mother Earth to take care of, isn't it? And then humans, in our narcissism, choose to believe that our well-being is the only one that matters. That's a myth, my friends. Mitakuye Oyasiin reminds us that one action that we take has a huge ripple effect on everything, whether we see it or we don't see it. And Goodfeather suggests that to honor this way, to honor this path, is to be in kindness. To be in kindness with each other and with everything on the planet. So if we choose to walk the indigenous path, then we are choosing to walk in kindness. Now, we can honor it individually and collectively. And I found this really interesting because collectively it means different than what we would think in our Western philosophy. So on the indigenous path, it means that all the individuals of one thing creates a space called spirit. So think of a forest. You've got the trees and the plants and the soil and the elements, right? You've got all of that, the microbes, the mushrooms, the fungus, all of it. And together, it is known as the spirit of the forest. The spirit of the forest. And if we bring that understanding here to Unity Church of the Hills, that would mean the spirit of Unity Church of the Hills consists of each adult, each child, the land, the grass, the trees, the words, the music, the intentions, the bricks, the animals, all of that would collectively come together to be the Spirit of Unity Church of the Hills. And as we have all of these spirits, they come together as the aspect of God. Now, being on the indigenous path means getting in sync with the rhythm of Mother Earth. It means allowing ourselves to remember the preciousness of each season. And each season has a purpose. Being in resonance with Mother Earth reminds us that there is a time to plant seeds, a time to harvest, a time to rest. And imagine knowing that rest is equally as important as productivity in our society. Oh my God, would that not change the planet? Yes. So most of us have forgotten to embrace the joy of Mother Earth. We have forgotten to be in gratitude for all the energy that we receive from her. And in the Lakota pantheon, so when I talk about pantheon, it's like all the deities in this particular path. There was a trickster spirit, and the trickster spirit was named Iktomi. And somehow it snuck into the earth realm when humans were asleep. And it whispered into the ears of the humans while they were sleeping, "What's in it for me? What's in it for me? What's in it for me?" Guess what happened to humans when they woke up? Yeah, thanks, Opal. They got greedy, right? They became obsessed with things, doing things that would only benefit them. We forgot that our egos are to be used as a tool to help us navigate this world. Instead, we became our egos and then believed we were entitled and superior to others. And in our hubris, we continue to destroy Mother Earth and all that coexists on this planet, all because of the false beliefs of there's not enough, false beliefs that we should fear others, and false beliefs that it's my very survival on the line, and so it's necessary. You see, when the ego feels entitled, it wreaks havoc on everything around it. The entitled ego says, "This should be mine and I'll take it, and I don't really care about the consequences." The entitled ego says, "I'll take it even if I didn't deserve it." The entitled ego says, "I'll take that even if I don't want it, just so you can't have it. And if I can't have it, I'll ruin it because I can." But if we follow the indigenous path, we could be in harmony and in balance with Mother Earth, with each other, with all sentient beings on this planet. We could sink into the cycles of release and renewal that guides the planet's well-being. We could embrace this wisdom for our highest good, knowing that as we release beliefs of the ego, we will heal and we will renew. When we embrace Mother Earth, we realize that life is a cycle of endings and rebirths. We need the endings to remind us we are not above the impact of Mother Earth. We are not above the impact of nature. We need to be reminded there's something greater than us. And as we learn this lesson, it reminds us that life is precious and everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. Mother Earth reminds us of our place in the world and that we are simply a part of it. We are not the universe. So as we open our awareness to the indigenous path, we start the healing process of ourselves, our lives, our relationships, and we also get to heal the planet. What a bonus. And why do we do this work? Because the absence of a relationship with the land and with animals creates a world without a soul. The absence of a relationship with ourselves creates a world without a soul. The absence of relationship with each other creates a world without a soul. It's time, my friends, it's time to reclaim our indigenous wisdom, to find balance and to live in gratitude and appreciation for our planet. Now, I started our talk with the question, are you in affinity with rock or water, right? And we discern the reality is that one isn't better than the other, right? That whichever brings you peace, that's wonderful, and we need both for wholeness. And then we realize that we mirror that as well. Our spiritual and our physical, both are necessary. One is not better than the other. Both are necessary for our wholeness, for our well-being. And so right now, we are being called to claim the sacredness of planet Earth, of the sky, of animals, and even each other. So I'm inviting you to get out of yourself. Go outside. Be in nature. Be in awe of what we reside on and partake in and get energy from and joy and bliss. Be a part of the rhythm of this beautiful planet. Now, next week, I'm hoping that you will join us because we're going to be doing communion next week in celebration of Thanksgiving and just taking that moment of gratitude and connection. So I'll see you next week.